If you're looking for cool videos, then you're at the right place. From PC to the console, then leave a smile on your face. Junkyard, get ready to watch a video from Junkyard.
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Junkyard here. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Junkyard. And it gets to the point sometimes you got to figure out what you're going to make for dinner. And in my situation, I have a lot of little leftover foods from other meals that I have cooked, but I haven't used them all. You know what I mean? When you buy something and you just need a little bit for a meal, but you don't have to use it all for the whole meal, and then it ends up sitting in the refrigerator, you're wondering, what am I going to use this for? So I'm at the point now where I'm really trying to find different meals with the different foods to basically make something new. So today we are making spinach, sun-dried tomato, stuffed chicken. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first what we have here is we have spinach. Now I ended up having some spinach left over from a past meal, but I did need a little bit more spinach, so I picked up a bunch of spinach. In addition, we have some garlic. I got some cheese, and you can never go wrong with cheese. When it comes to cheese, there's so many different recipes you can find some sort of cheese with. And I haven't tried this one. This is a Fontina style cheese. It's made in Wisconsin. It's an Italian style, but I figured we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Again, the sun-dried tomatoes. Again, we use these for a past Cooking with Junkyard, so I wanted to go ahead and utilize it again. Some butter and some chicken. So these are the things of the meal that we're going to be utilizing. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to do is go ahead and get the spinach ready to go ahead and cook. Alright, so what we're going to do first is cut this spinach up. Now I already have, see this, you don't need this part, so we'll just get rid of that. Now I already cleaned the spinach. We have this, and I also have quite a bit of baby spinach on top of it. Again, the baby spinach was from a past recipe, but what we're going to do is cook this up. And when you cook the spinach, it dwindles down to practically nothing, so you utilize a lot of spinach. Now we're going to head over to the stove. Okay, so first thing we have is we have a skillet on the stove heating up nicely. There's nothing in it. Just add half the spinach to the saucepan to go ahead and start wilting down. Now utilize tongs. This is going to take a few minutes. At this point, once these have wilted down to where you can see how they're wilted down this much, you want to add the other half of your spinach. So this is now all the spinach. It's about a pound and a half of spinach. Natural moisture comes out of the spinach itself. Okay, perfect. Now what we want to do is get this off the heat and get this in a cauldron here. And we're going to rinse this off with cold water. We want to stop the cooking process pretty quickly. Now you can put it in a bath of ice water if you want, or whatever have you. This was just quicker. Alright, perfect. Now what you want to also do is you want to squeeze all that moisture out of there. You got to get that moisture out of the spinach that you just put in there. So pretty much we're going to let this sit here for a second and go to the next step. Okay everybody, we are back over by the cutting board. This is the spinach. Primarily what I did is I went ahead and squeezed out the moisture, chopped it up a little bit, and pretty much we're going to put this aside. You can see it really doesn't make that much after you go ahead and cook it down. The next thing we're going to be utilizing is our tomatoes, the sun-dried tomatoes. Now this is pretty much, we want to use a little over a quarter cup. So this is a little bit too much. We don't need all that. We're going to put some of it back in the jar here. Okay, that's about that. We're going to go ahead and give that a coarse chop. Okay, as you can see it there. Excellent. All right, and let's go ahead and put that in a bowl as well and set that aside. Now we're going to head back over to the stove, start cooking the next process. Okay, so first thing we got to do is cook up the butter. We have some butter here. We're going to add some garlic. We want about 1 tablespoon or 1 large clove of garlic. All right, and that's about that. We're going to cook this up until it's very aromatic, very fragrant. About 3 minutes. Try not to burn the butter. If it's too hot, cool it down. When the stove gets a little too hot, I'll go ahead and lift up the pan and take it off the heat, and just go ahead and let the heat of the actual pan continually cook the stuff that's inside. Alright, now it's at this point where we want to go ahead and add the spinach back into the pot. Let it pick up all the butter and let it pick up all that garlic in there. Okay, at this point we're going to add a little bit of salt. Some pepper. Stir that around. Okay. Add the tomatoes. And get it off the heat. Literally, the tomatoes were in there not long at all. Get it off the heat. The tomatoes will actually cook still while they're with the spinach. Alright everybody, so while the spinach is cooling down, what we want to do is grab a chicken breast, put some wrap around it, and we're going to pat it out. Now we've done this before. I've made my chicken cordon bleu. I patted that out for you guys. Alright, as you can see, we patted that out. What we're going to do is stuff the spinach and cheese inside here, and but I got some other chickens to go ahead and work on, so I'm going to work on those and we'll get right back to you. Okay, so I went ahead and patted down all 3. I have 3 chicken breasts. You could actually go ahead and probably make this into 4 chicken breasts, but I only had 3. So what we're going to do next is actually just go ahead and stuff the chicken. We're going to try to remember we have enough here where, like I said, it would be good for 4, but since I only have 3, I guess we'll just overstuff these. Stuff the chicken like so. We're going to take some of the cheese. I already pre-sliced the cheese to length pieces here, and then we're just going to roll it up. Alright. And that's it. Okay, now to make sure if anything starts falling out, stuff it together. If you need to keep it together, you could go ahead and put a toothpick in it just like that, and that'll go ahead and keep it together. Alright. Also preheated our oven to 400 degrees. So our oven is warming up and we're heading over to the stove now. Okay, here is our pan that we were using before. I'm going to add some olive oil to the bottom of the pan. Now what we want to do is add the chicken to the pan, seam side down. Just let that cook for a little while. Okay, it's at this point where you want to go ahead and start flipping your chicken a little bit. You can see it's starting to get brown right here. So flip it over. Now if it starts falling apart like that one did, just pray. You're fine. Alright, so we flip it over, and we're going to flip them and actually turn them till all sides are brown, and we'll be back when it's at that point. So as you can see, everything is browned real nicely. So what we want to do now is to transfer this to the 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and get this out of the oven here. Now remember, this pan is real hot, so use an oven mitt. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to transfer the chicken to an alternate bowl here, as you can see. And then the next step is what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of all this great drippings that's in here. We're going to scoop the cheese out of here for temporarily, and now you have nothing but the chicken drippings inside the pan here. So we're going to get the pan up to a medium heat, add a tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and we're going to heat this up until it makes a nice roux. Try to scrape off all the scrapings on the bottom of the pan. Alright, this roux is coming out great. You can see that the flour ends up getting a little thick. And so what you want to do now at this point, we're going to add some lemon juice to help degrease the drippings. Okay, we're going to add about a teaspoon of lemon juice. We're actually going to add another tablespoon of butter. This is one of those non-fattening meals. Sarcasm, sarcasm, sarcasm. Alright, perfect. Let's go over to the cutting board over here. Okay, so now what we did is we actually have the drippings from the chicken and everything that we made together here. We're actually going to just push this right over the top of the chicken. And oh my gosh, the flavor that it's going to add to this is incredible. Alright, so let's move this to a plate and we'll give it a try. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, the sauce is all over the meat. I was going to have some side dishes and some additional things to add to the plate, but the end result is I just wanted to go ahead and try this and get this up for you here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut into this. Take a look at the inside. Now, as far as the inside, you can see the tomatoes, the spinach, and the cheese has all melted through. Let's go ahead and take a bite of this thing. Very nice. Alright. Wow. As always, what a fabulous combination of flavors. The tomato, the spinach, the cheese, all blends through the meat. Another successful meal. Wow, this is great. I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have a side of some rice and some broccoli on the side of this. Excellent meal. Hopefully you guys give this a try. This is a really good one. This is what I was talking about. When you buy so much food for one particular recipe and you have leftovers, what do you do with it? You find other dishes that you're able to go ahead and utilize those foods for. And that's what this is. Spinach stuffed chicken with sun-dried tomatoes. Good stuff. Well, this is Junkyard. Thanks for watching. Needless to say, keep cooking. Come on over here. My daughter's trying to dance too. She stopped.